Exciting time to be at the combine. Obviously, this is another piece of the puzzle for us. We had a chance to see a lot of these young guys at the Senior Bowl, so that was the first time we got a chance to touch them and see them in a different environment. But now, being at the combine is a little different, and so it'll give us an opportunity to spend more time with some of these guys, get to know them a little bit better, spend some time in some formal interviews and the interviews at the train station and see these guys work and measurements and medical and all that stuff, which I think is great. But again, this is a great time for the Cleveland Browns. What do you guys have today?
Coach, how critical are the next 2 months?
Very. We get it. It's an opportunity for us to impact our football team, to put some talented players on our team, on our roster, and that's what we're looking forward to doing.
Hey, Hugh, when you're evaluating these rookie or these quarterbacks coming out in the draft, what are the most important things you're looking for?
Well, there's a lot of things you're looking for, but I think most importantly, obviously, a guy has to have arm talent, and can a guy process football, at the rate that you need him to be able to do it? Is he a guy who can lead an organization? Because I think we all know the quarterback becomes the face of the organization. I think that's really important, and a lot of pressure comes with that, so a guy got to be able to handle that.
Is that what you start to find out here?
Oh, yeah. I think you obviously got to be around people to get a true feel of that. But this is the first process, that you get to really get a feel for if a guy can do that.
The Browns were pretty hands-on with the draft quarterbacks last year at pro days and whatnot. Do you anticipate being that hands-on again with this class?
I sure do. I think we'll, as a organization, we'll do anything and everything we need to do to make sure that we see them all the guys that we feel like have a chance to play for us.
Last week, I haven't talked to you since season ended. What was your evaluation once we went back of how Robert Griffin played, and what are your thoughts about keeping him with the team going forward?
Well, obviously, Robert's on our roster right now. I think there are some things that he did well, some things he need to continue to improve at, and we're going to keep working with him, until we don't. So he's one of the 3 quarterbacks on our football team right now, and I'm very fortunate that we do have some guys under contract right now to work with. But we got to continue to get him better, as he moves forward.
When you're looking at a quarterback who plays in an offense in college that isn't necessarily compatible with your offense or other NFL offenses, what are the base attributes you need to see to sort of, bridge that gap?
Well, I think it's some of the things I just mentioned. I think, there's no substitute for arm talent. There's no substitute. Can a guy really process, what they're trying to accomplish, and then can it fit into the National Football League? I think we all know it's been tough, trying to evaluate that position because it's so different in college than what it is in the National Football League. But, those things won't change. I think there's a couple of key characteristics that you got to have. Obviously, can you throw? Can you process? Can you lead your team? Those are 3 very fundamental things that I think will show itself, from a college quarterback.
When Mitch came in today, Mitch Trubisky measured over 6'2". So, what's your reaction to that, and how important is that in your evaluation of him?
I think that's great. It's good that he's over 6'2". We all have a profile for what we like a quarterback to be, and I think you kind of work through that. And I like a guy that's a little taller, and he is over 6'2", so that's great for him.
Hugh, how much can you help a quarterback become more accurate once he gets to you in the NFL? Or how much is that trait sort of what you see is what you get in college?
I think you can improve a lot of skills, over time. I think you create the environment, repetition for a player to continue to do those things and do them well. But obviously, I think you said it, sometimes guys just have that. We'd rather have a guy that has it all, and then we just continue to improve it and make it better. But, obviously, throwing the ball accurately is very important in the National Football League.
Is quarterback the biggest need on this team right now?
Well, we're going to keep searching. Yeah, I think it's important that, I think we all understand no one's really claimed this position yet on our football team. So we need to do everything we can to continue to add a player that we feel as an organization really good about that can lead our football team, and we'll continue to chase that.
Last year, you were all in favor of trading down to build the roster of your team. Are your feelings different this year?
I think my feelings are different in the sense that we need to do whatever we feel is important to improve our football team. I think what's most important, we have a lot of assets here as we move forward to do a lot of different things to improve our roster, and I think that's what's most important.
Yesterday Sashi was asked, would you be okay heading into next season with the 3 quarterbacks that you currently have on your roster? And he said yes. I'm asking you the same question. Would you be okay with that?
Well, I think we have to, feel that way because that potentially could happen. It all depends on how this all unfolds. But I know we're doing anything and everything we can to improve that position. I think that's really important. And I think that's where Sashi was coming from, that, it could happen that way. Not that we want it to be that way, but at the same time, that's a reality too. But we're going to do everything we can to go find a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
Coach, would that include a trade?
I'm not going to get into all those things, Hobbs. We're not going to talk about that. Thank you.
What do you see as the positives and negatives of getting a quarterback who's a veteran? Whether it's trade or free agency versus a guy in the draft who you can start fresh with and mold from day one.
I think what's most important is find a guy that can win for us, over time and can sustain it and do it week in and week out. Obviously, this is the National Football League. It's a quarterback-driven league. You have to have a guy that can play consistently week in and week out. And I think we're gonna see if we can find that. We have some guys on our team right now that are continuing to work hard and improve, and we need to get those guys better too. But we need to also just continue to improve the talent level at that position as much as we can, as much as we're allowed to.
Well, Hugh, last year was so rough, and you said that's not going to happen again.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't it be easier to not let it happen again if you had a guy who's had some NFL experience?
Well, I don't know if it's just experience. I think, as you got to surround the team with talent, It's not just putting a quarterback on the team. He's a huge piece of it, but you also have to equip that quarterback with an opportunity to win. So I think there's a lot of things that go into that, and I think we understand where we are and what we need to do, and I think our executive staff, along with our coaching staff, that's what we're setting out to
You're
do.
talking about building up a team to support a quarterback. How aggressive do you think you guys will be in free agency compared to last year?
Again, it'd be another piece, another opportunity for us to supplement our team. I think we're going to look at every avenue to get our football team better. I totally understand that we will do that, and we'll do it to the best of our ability. We're not going to go out there and do anything that's just way over the top, because I think it's important that we do it very smartly, but also very aggressively. But we'll do everything we can to improve this team.
How important is it to you to get Terrell Pryor wrapped up and under contract and moving forward with you?
It's important. Obviously, Terrell's a huge piece of what we did a year ago. Obviously, we're working through that, and it's got to work both ways. It's got to fit for all involved, for him, for us, and hopefully it will, and hopefully we can get that done here soon.
Where are you guys at right tackle?
You have a sense whether you think any of the college draftable quarterbacks are ready to play right away?
Well, I think it's too soon. I think we're still in the process of finding out to know that for sure. That's why we're here, to spend more time with them and see, what they know, what they don't know, and how we can help them and how they fit, in our system. So we'll know more about all these guys as we continue to move forward.
You said that you like a quarterback who's a little taller. Is there a certain threshold for you?
6'2". 6'2".
Why is that the threshold?
Because I think a guy has to be about 6'2" to play in this league. The special guys, I don't want to take anything away from. There's some other quarterbacks that's played in this league that's not 6'2", but majority of the guys, there he is. Majority of the guys that have played, they've been 6'2" or a little bit better. And I just feel that's what I like in a quarterback.
So were you sweating in this measurement out a little bit? I mean, if you had come in at 6'1", would it have changed your evaluation?
Well, I think you evaluate it all. I think it's important. I think when you talk about profiles, you want a guy to be a certain height, certain weight, certain speed, all those things. But then there's other factors that are factored in that too, about arm talent and processing and all the other things we talked about. So it's just a piece of it, but I think it's an important piece.
You assume someday you will be at the combine not answering quarterback questions?
Absolutely. I don't like it.
You will have that position locked down at some point.
Yeah, and we do. I think we all get it. We need to find a guy that can lead our team, lead this organization to winning week in and week out.
And
That's just
for any team though, how important is that for any team when you have that position, when you can go into the offseason and not have to worry about it? What does that allow you to do building the rest of the roster? when you don't even have to think about quarterback?
Well, I think it's all kind of ways to do it. I think it's important. You have to have that guy, but you have to make decisions about, what that looks like as you start to put that guy on your football team. Because as I said earlier, you got to be able to support that position the right way as well. It's not just about putting a quarterback on the team and saying, okay, here we go. You got to make sure that he has enough weapons. You have to make sure that you're able to protect him and put him in the right spot so he can have success. So I think all those things go into it as you think through it.
Two more questions. I don't know if anyone asked the question, but you have a very young team.
Mm-hmm.
Like 19 rookies on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Close to being half of your roster. How do you approach this season moving forward? I know everyone asking about quarterbacks, but that's what you mentioned. Is that a big part of why things may have not gone as well as you like because the team is truly so young?
Well, honestly, I've turned the page on last year. We kind of moved forward, and I think it's well documented that we're one of the younger teams in all of pro football, and hopefully that's going to help us as we start to move forward. Some of these young guys need to step up and make the next jump in their career and help this organization get to where it needs to be.
Hey, where are you guys at right tackle now?
Where am I at right tackle?
Yeah, what do you need? How bad is your right tackle situation?
I don't know that it's bad.
Well,
I just think we need to improve it. Again, we have some candidates that we'll put over there and give them a chance to compete. And obviously we'll find, maybe we'll find someone here in the free agency, or we'll find somebody here in the draft that can play the position. Again, I feel very comfortable that our football team this year will be improved, be better, and we're looking forward to it.
thank you, Coach.
Back now